The enthusiasm, divine surprise pervades our life. A mystic stir is felt. A joyful anguish trembles in our limbs. A dream of a dream of beauty dances through the heart. A thought from the eternal mind draws near. Intimation cast from the invisible. Awakening from infinity's sleep, come down. I think that's a full stop there. Sorry, the next line is a full stop. Symbols of that which never yet was made.
Okay, I don't know if you realize it, but you said awakening and waking.
Awaking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not awakening.
Got you. Awakening. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go into this first, page 108.
Mhm.
So this enthusiasm of a divine surprise is pervading our life. It's present throughout our whole life. And the mystic stir is felt. Now, many things he's telling us. First of all, mystic stir, then joyful anguish, then dream of beauty. See, all these things are so important. Huh?
Yes.
This mystic stir is felt. A joyful anguish trembles in our limbs. A dream of beauty dances through the heart. Oh, such beautiful poetry. And then we go to 109, which tells us that even more than that, a thought from the eternal mind draws near. We're still in this Canto 2, the kingdom of subtle matter. And so we have to always keep that in mind, because it's from that realm of subtle matter that these things are coming. So also a thought is coming from the eternal mind, and it draws near as well. Intimations cast from the invisible, awaking from infinity's sleep, come down. Because in the infinity, everything is perfect and silence. So he calls it infinity sleep here, comes down. And also symbols of that which never yet was made. How beautiful that is. Huh? That which never yet was made. But something else is going to happen now. He's going to tell us what happens after a while.
Okay. But soon the inert flesh responds no more. Then sings the sacred orgy of delight.
Orgy.
Orgy, okay. Then sings the sacred orgy of delight. The blaze of passion and the tide of power are taken from us, and though a glowing form abides astonishing earth, imagined supreme, too little of what was meant has left a trace.
Okay. But soon the inert flesh responds no more. Because all these beautiful things that have gone down, and then he actually tells us how it's gone down. He says, then sinks the sacred orgy of delight. Of course, orgy is usually meant by sexual activity or things like singing, dancing, drinking, uh,
Okay.
secret rites of ancient Greek or Rome. So then sinks this sacred orgy of delight. And it certainly has been a sacred orgy of delight because we have seen this thought come from the eternal mind. We have seen these intimations cast from the invisible. We have seen things awaking from infinity sleep that have come down to us. And we have seen symbols of that. That,
Hmm.
capital T, always means the infinite, which never yet was made. But soon the inert flesh responds no more. Then sinks the sacred orgy of delight, the blaze of passion, and the tide of power are taken from us. And though a glowing form abides, astonishing earth, imagined supreme, too little of what was meant has left a trace. All this is telling us that these marvelous things can come down to us, but we can't hold them,
Mm.
or
Okay.
we can't hold them for long. And
Mm.
therefore, too little of what was meant has just left a trace.
Okay.
He will continue, of course.
Okay. Earth's eyes half see, her forces half create. Her rarest works are copies of heaven's art.
Again, talking now about Earth,
Hmm.
because Earth is a conscious being.
Hmm.
Even though her eyes half see, her forces create, but they only half create. They don't fully create. And
Yeah.
even then, he says that her rarest works are simply copies of heaven's art,
Hmm.
of heaven's art, the highest art. Earth's copies, uh, Earth's rarest works are simply copies of heaven's art.
Okay.
Okay.
A radiance of a golden artifice,
Artifice.
artifice, a radiance of a golden artifice, a masterpiece of inspired divine and rule.
Device.
Sorry, a masterpiece of inspired device and rule. Her forms hide what they house, and only mine, the unceased miracle of self-born shapes that live forever in the eternal's gaze.
Hmm. I would say eternal's gaze, not
Eternal,
eternal's gaze.
eternal. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of pronunciation mistakes again.
Hmm.
I'd have to work a little harder on that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, a radiance of a golden artifice. An artifice is here a skill or an ingenuity, inventiveness. But it's a golden inventiveness, and it's a radiant golden artifice, a masterpiece of inspired device and rule. Her forms hide what they house, and only mime the unseized miracle of self-born shapes that live forever in the eternal's gaze. It's very interesting, this kingdom of subtle matter. We have this of a golden artifice, artifice, of course, is cleverness, skill, ingenuity. A masterpiece of inspired device and rule. Device here is like schemes or plans, inventions, you could even say.
Okay.
Her forms, this is the earth's forms, huh? Hide what they house. And only mime is imitate, huh? You know, what a mime does, he imitates things without speaking.
Okay.
So her forms hide what they house, and only mime the unseized miracle of self-born shapes. These self-born shapes are shapes that are originated without need of any creation. So in Savitri, we have two lines, one about Sri Aurobindo and one about the mind, in which Sri Aurobindo says they are self-born. They chose to be born.
Okay.
Mother and Sri Aurobindo. So this unseen miracle of self-born shapes lives forever in the eternal's gaze. So we see that Earth's forms are masterpieces of inspired device and rule, and yet her forms are hiding what they house, and they only imitate, mime, the unseized miracle of these self-born shapes that live forever in the eternal's gaze. Magnificent poetry.
Yes.
And the eternal, we know, is God. In the Life Divine, he tells us the eternal is our refuge. All the rest are false values, the ignorance and its mazes, a self-bewilderment of soul in phenomenal nature. And so this is what we've been seeing, this unseized miracle of these self-born shapes. We don't understand them, we see them as an unseized miracle, but they live forever in the eternal's gaze. Okay?
Yeah.
Good. So we'll continue. A little slow.
Here, in a difficult, half-finished world, is a slow toiling of unconscious powers. Here is man's ignorant, divining mind, his genius born from an inconscient soil.
Okay. So we're seeing what's happening now in this difficult, half-finished world. What's happening? A slow toiling of unconscious powers. Because in this realm of the ignorance, we have the body, we have the life, the vital force, and the mind. But all of them are unconscious powers. And then in the next line, he tells us this. Here is man's ignorant, divining mind. Now, divining here means perceiving by intuition or insight. So it has nothing to do with the divine here. Divining mind, perceiving by intuition or insight.
Okay.
See, we have so many definitions for divine and divining. So we have to know which is the most correct definition. So he ends with his genius born from an inconscient soil. And this, we've talked about the inconscient so many times. But I can read it some more if you'd like.
Sure, Narad, sir.
Okay, in a letter on Savitri, Sri Aurobindo writes, men have not learned yet to recognize the inconscient, on which the whole material world they see is built, or the ignorance of which their whole nature, including their knowledge, is built. They think that these words are only abstract metaphysical jargon flung about by the philosophers in their clouds, or labored out in long and wearisome books like The Life Divine. So he pokes fun at himself. Long and wearisome books like The Life Divine. So beautiful, Sri Aurobindo's wonderful humor.
Mhm.
So the body, we have said, is a creation of the inconscient, and itself inconscient, or at least subconscient in parts of itself, and much of its hidden action. But what we call the inconscient, capital I, is an appearance, a dwelling place. And this is very key here, an instrument of a secret consciousness or a superconscient which has created the miracle we call the universe.